Oh, yes.
That's Jeffrey. Yep. Ready to go? Yeah. Well, unless you have it memorized. Shabbat Shalom, Charles, Terry, Carol, Harvey, Rabbi Daberson. Anyone else who's joined since I started it up? So Shabbat Shalom, it's good to have you guys with us. You're helping make our minyan this morning as we gather. I know, 103. Oh, no, go ahead. Absolutely. I'm just
underneath.
saying hi to everybody. I'll give you the page
Oh,
numbers.
for sure. 103.
Page 103, please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan l'sachvivina lahavchin ben yom uven layla. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzalmo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani bat chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kfuvim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rakah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani li kol tzorki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael bigvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael betifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam anoten layaev koach.
You may be seated.
I just have to stop and say that these prayers remind me that there's a walk tomorrow for Jewish Family Services in support of the immigrants that they're helping this year. And it feels like all of these, you walk in my shoes. That was one.
Studies our steps and provides for our needs. Amen.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ha'ma'avir she'eino b'nei won't make fun of my years. ותננו היום ובכל יום לכנו לחסד ולרחמים בעיניך ובעיני כל רואינו ותגמלנו חסדים טובים ברוך אתה אדוני גומל חסדים טובים לעמו ישראל.
Continue on page 100, well, silently through 105. And 106, we continue.
לפיך אנחנו חייבים להודות לך אשרינו מה טוב חלקנו מה נעים גורלנו מה יפה ירושתנו אשרינו שאנחנו משכימים ומריבים ערב ובוקר ואומרים פעמיים בכל יום שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. וקדש את שמך על מקדשי שמך, וקידש את שמך בעולמך, ובישועתך תרים ותגביה קרננו, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש את שמך ברבים.
This continues on page 120.
מזמור שיר חנוכת הבית לדוד. הפכת מספדי למחולי, פיתחת שקי ותעזרני שמחה, למען יזמרך כבוד ולא ידום, אדוני אלוהה לעולם עודקה, עודקה.
Warner's Cottage, page 121.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, וילמד דברי קירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומייכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה ותושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו, יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
We rise on 122.
Baruch Shemar v'haya olam, Baruch Hu, Baruch Osev Reshit, Baruch Omer v'Osev, Baruch Ozer Umkayem, Baruch Merachem al haaretz, Baruch Merachem al habriot, Baruch Mishalem Sachar Tov l'Reyav, Baruch Chai La'ad, V'Kayam Lanetzach, Baruch Podeh Umatzil, Baruch Shemo. Yachidchei haolamim melech meshubach u'mefa'or adei ad shmo hagadol, Baruch atah Adonai melech mehulau batishbachot.
Proceeded on 123.
Odu l'Adonai kiru v'shmo dio v'amim alilotav. Shir l'Adonai kol haaretz basrum yamim yeshuato sabru b'vim kodim tolamim ulam me'od v'norahu al Elohim ki kol Elohei amim elilim v'Adonai shemayim asa hod v'adar lefanav oz v'chedra bimkomo. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahadom raglav kadoshu. Ramamu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahar kodsho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu v'hu rachum yichaper avon v'lo yashchit v'kadosh yifacho v'lo ya'ir kol chamato. Adonai Eloheinu v'tichlat v'mim v'astacha v'mitchatam v'tzvim v'sukha. L'Adonai Yeshua Olamcha birchatecha Sela, Adonai Tzvaot Manu, Miskav Lanu Elohei Yaakov Sela, Adonai Tzvaot Ashrei Adam Boteach Bach, Adonai Oshia Melech Yanenu V'yom Kareinu, Oshia et Amecha Uvarech et Nachalatecha, Ureim V'naseim Ad Olam. Va'ani b'chastecha v'tachti yagel libi b'yeshuatecha ashir al Adonai ki gamal alai.
Continues on 131.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, Shem Adonai, hallelujah, Avdei Adonai, Shomdim b'veit Adonai, b'chatzrot beit Eloheinu. Hallelujah. Atzabei Goyim kaseh pesachah paseh. Beit Yisrael baruchu et Adonai, Beit Aharon baruchu et Adonai, Beit Alevi baruchu et Adonai, Yirei Adonai baruchu et Adonai, Baruch Adonai Mitzion Shochin Yerushalayim, Hallelujah.
Read 132, we rise.
Hodu l'Adonai ki tov, ki li'olam chasto. שבשבילנו זכר לנו כי לעולם חסדו ויפרקנו מצרינו כי לעולם חסדו נותן לחם לכל בשר כי לעולם חסדו הודו לאל השמיים כי לעולם חסדו רננו צדיקים באדוני לישרים נאווה תהילה. הודו לנו בנב בשר שלנו. נפשנו חיכתה לאדוני עזרנו מגיננו הוא כי בו ישמח ליבנו כי בשם קודשו עטפנו יהי חסדך אדוני עלינו כאשר ייחלנו לך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת טוב לא דברנו לזמר לשם היום מה גדלו מעשיך מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך מה גדלו מעשיך מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך איש פער לא ידע צדיק אתה אמר יפרח כארז בלבנון יזכה שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינובון בסבע דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי ישר אדוני צורי ולא עוולה תבוא אדוני מלך גאות לבש עדותיך נאמנו מאוד לביתך נאווה קודש אדוני לאורך ימים יהי כבוד אדוני לעולם ישמח אדוני במעשיו והוא רחום יכפר עוון ולא ישחית והרבה להשיב אפו ולא יאיר כל חמתו אדוני הושיע המלך יעננו ביום קראנו אשר יושבי ביתך עוד יעללוך הסלע תהילת אדוני ידבר פי ויברך כל בשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד ואנחנו נברך מעתה ועד עולם הללויה הללויה הללי נפשי את אדוני הלל אדוני בחיי הלל בגודי אשרי שם עושה משפט לעשוקים, תן לחם לרעבים, תיר אסורים יבקר חירים. אם אדוני שומר את גרים, יתום ואלמנה, יעודד ודרך רשעים יעוות. ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור, הללויה. הללויה כי טוב זמרה אלוהינו כי נעים נאווה תהילה. מגיד דבריו ליעקב, חוקיו ומשפטיו לישראל, לא עשה כן לכל גוי ומשפטים בל ידעום. הללויה. הללויה, הללו את אדוני מן השמיים, הללוהו במרומים. יעלו את שם אדוני קיבוץ. הללו את אדוני מן הארץ. התלמוד. וירם קרן לימות תהילה לכל חסידיו לבני ישראל עם קרובו. הללויה. הללויה, שיר לאדוני שיר חדש תהילתו בקהל חסידים. ישמח ישראל בסוף המיצר. לאסור מלכיהם בזיקים ונכבדיהם בחבלי ברזל, לעשות בהם משפט כתוב, הדר הוא לכל חסידיו. הללויה. הללויה, הללויה, בקדשו וברכי עוזו. כל הנשמה תהלל יה, הללויה. כל הנשמה תהלל יה, הללויה. ברוך אדוני לעולם, אמן ואמן. ברוך מציון שכנו שלנו. עמים ישראל לבדו, ברוך שם כבוד לעולם, וימלך כבודו את כל הארץ, אמן ואמן. ויברך דוד את אדוני לעיני כל הקהל, ויאמר דוד. אתה הוא אדוני לבדך, אתה עשית שמיים הימים. אתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו אשר בחרת באברהם והוצאתו מאור כסדים, ושמת שמו אברהם ומצאת את לבבו נאמן לפניך, וכרות עמו הברית. והים בקעת לפניהם, ויעברו בתוך הים ביבשה, ואת רודפיהם השלכת במצולות כמו אבן במים עזים. ויוש אדוני ביום ההוא את ישראל מיד מצרים. וירא ישראל את היד הגדולה אשר עשה אדוני במצרים, ויראו העם את אדוני, ויאמינו באדוני ובמשה עבדו. אז ישיר משה ובני ישראל אשר זאת אדוני. שיר אדוני ככל סוס Yikamo kabayim maranang kamakan nadar pakodesh no kitas. As nalayang payatam Adonai yimloch li'olam va'ed. Ki l'Adonai mulcha u'moshel b'goyim v'alu moshiim b'har Tzion lishpot et har Esav v'hayita l'Adonai ha'melucha v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz b'yom hahu yihi Adonai echad u'shmo echad. Nishmat kol chai tevarech et shimcha Adonai Eloheinu. Adonai neither slumbers nor sleeps, but wakes those who sleep, rouses those who slumber, gives voice to those who cannot speak, frees those who are bound up, supports those who fall, straightens those who are bent over. It is you alone whom we thank. האל בתעצומות עוזך הגדול בכבוד שמך, גיבור לנצח במראה בנורותיך, המלך היושב על כיסא רם ונישא.
שוכן עד מרום וקדוש שמו. בפי ישרים תתהלל ובדברי צדיקים תתברך, ובלשון חסידים תתרומם ובקרב קדושים תתקדש, ובמקלות רבבות עמך בית ישראל ברנש. שכן חובת כל יצרים לפניך אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, להודות, להלל, לשבח, לפאר, לרומם, להדר, לברך, ליעלה ולקלס על כל דברי שירות ותשבחות דוד בן ישי עבדך משיחך. ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו, הואל המלך הגדול והקדוש בשמיים ובארץ. ברכות והודאות מעתה ועד עולם, ברוך אתה אדוני, אל מלך גדול בתשבחות, אל ההודאות אדון הנפלאות, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך אל חי העולמים, יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעולמת דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון וביומי חון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב אמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה, מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, יוצר אור ובורא חושך, עושה שלום ובורא את הכל. הכל יודוך והכל ישבחוך, והכל יאמרו אין קדוש כאדוני. אין כערכך אדוני אלוהינו בעולם הזה, ואין זולתך מלכנו לחיי העולם הבא. אפס בלתך גואלנו לימות המשיח, ואין דומה לך מושיענו לתחיית המתים. אל אדון על כל המעשים, ברוך ומבורך בפי כל נשמה, גודלו וטובו מלא עולם, דעת ותבונה סובבים אותו. נא על חיות הקודש ונדר בכבוד על המרכבה, זכות ומישור לפני כיסו, חסד ורחמים לפני כבודו. טובים מאורות שברא אלוהינו יצרם, בדעת בבינה ובהשכל, כוח וגבורה נתן בהם, להיות מושלים בקרב תבל, Meleim ziv umefikim noga na'ezivam bechol ha'olam Semechim betzeitam besasim bevoam Osim be'em aretzon konam Pierre v'chavod notnim lishmo Tohalaverina lezecher malchuto Kara lashemesh vayizrach or Ravehit kinturat halvana Shevach notnim lo Kol tzva marom Tiferet ugadula Seraphim ve'ofanim ve'chayot hakodesh la'el asher Shavat mikol ha'ma'asim b'yom hashvit. Titbarach Moshiach Shavach Masiyadecha Yom Yorei She'asita V'faruch Hasela Around Trinamakin V'aleinu Borei Kedoshim Yishtabach Shem Chalad Malkeinu Yotzer Mishartim Kulam ahuvim, kulam berurim, kulam giborim bechulam, otzim be'ema uvyera ratzon konam, bechulam potrim et pihem, b'kedusha v'tahara, b'shira v'zimra, u'mevarchim shabachim, u'mefarim u'maritzim, u'makdishim u'mamlechim et shem ha'el ha'melech ha'gadol ha'gibor v'hanara kadoshu. Kulam mekablim alehem u'malchut shemayim ze mizeh v'notnim reshut zeh zeh lehakdish leyotzram b'nachat ruach b'safa v'rura v'nima kedosha kulam kecharonim v'yomrim b'yira kadosh 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 Adonai tzvaot meloch ol haaretz kevodo Ve'ofanim v'chayot hakodesh B'rash gadol mitnasim liumat serafim liumatam meshabachim v'yomrim baruch kevod Adonai mimekomo La'el baruch nimotiteinu l'melech ha'chai v'zimeritos v'nivtish b'chot yashmiyu v'rot osech adadasham Tilo. Hamakadesh Batuva Bachuyam Tamid Mahasever Reshit Kam or Yosei O Rim Gedolim Kilialam Chasto or Chadash Atzion Ta'ir Beniske Hulana Mehera Leoro Baruch Ata Adonai Yotzer Ama Road Ahava Rabba Ahav Tan Du Adonai Eloheinu Chem Lakatola V'ha'erinenu b'toratecha v'dahabek libeinu b'mitzvotecha v'yached levavenu v'yahava u'lira et shemecha v'lo nebosh le'olam va'ed v'lo nevosh Le'olam va'ed ki b'shem kodshecha hagadol v'hanora batachnu nagila v'nismecha v'yishuatecha v'havienu l'shalom me'arba kanfot haaretz v'tolechenu komemiut v'artzeinu ki el poel Yeshuot ata uvan uvachar tav V'keirav tanu l'shimcha hagadol. Selah, Selah be'emet lehodot lecha. Uliyachedcha be'ahava. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'amo Yisrael b'ahava. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha v'derech uveshachbecha b'kumecha k'shaitam liot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchetavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha v'hayam. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Ledor vador hu kayam ushmo hu kayam v'chiso nachon u'malchuto v'emunato la'ad kayamet. Emet v'emunacho v'lo yavor. Emet shatahu Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu malkeinu melech avotenu go'alenu go'el avotenu Tzreinu tzu Yeshuapteinu Podenu umatzilenu mi'olam shemecha Ein Elohim zulatecha Ezrat avotenu atahu mi'olam Magim shelefni. Tilot le'el el yom baruch hu umevarach Moshe u'Miriam u'bnei Yisrael achanu shira b'simcha rabba ve'amru laham mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh nora tehilot o sefer leb Shira chadasha shebichu geulim l'shimcha safat hayam yachad kulam hodu v'imlichu v'yomru Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed tzur Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael uftei chinumecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael Go Aleinu Adonai Tzvaot Shemo Kedosh Yisrael Baruch Atah Adonai.
We're still davening. Please continue as we begin the repetition on 159.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol v'Zocher Chasdei Avot Umevi goel livnei v'neihem lema'an shemo b'ahava melech ozer ufakedu moshia umagen Baruch atah Adonai magen Avraham ufoked Sarah Atagi bor leolam Adonai mechaye metim atarav lehoshia Mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye metim berachamim rabim. So mech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim. Umekayem emunato Lishene afar Bichamocha Ba'al Gefurot Umido melach Melech memit umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'neman ata lehachayot metim Baruch ata Adonai Mechaye hametim Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam Keshem shemakdishim oto Bishmei marom Kakatuv al yad neviecha V'kara ze el ze V'amar kadosh 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 Adonai tzvaot Melech kol haaretz kevodo. Az bekol ra'ash gadol adir v'chazak mashmim kol mitnasim lumat serafim lumatam Baruch yomeru Baruch evod Adonai mimekomo Mimkom Malkeinu Tofia v'timloch aleinu ki mechakim anachnu lach Matai timloch b'tzion B'karov b'yamenu le'olam v'tishkon Tihit kadal v'tihit kadash B'toch Yerushalayim ircha L'dor v'ador Ulenetzach ulenetzach Nitzachim V'einenu tirena malchutecha Kadavar amur b'shirei uzecha Ayadei David Mashiach tzidkecha Imloch Adonai leolam Elohai Zion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah. Ledor Vador Nadgit Godlecha, Ulenetzach Netzachim Kedushatcha Nakdish, V'shikhacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yemush leolam vaed, Ki el melech gadol v'kadosh ata, Baruch ata Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalu chasela Baruch ata Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Yismach Moshe b'matnat, Yismach Moshe b'matnat, Yismach Moshe b'matnat, b'matnat chelko. Ki even neman, ki even neman, ki even neman karatalo, ki even neman, ki even neman, ki even neman karatalo. Yismach Moshe b'matnat, Yismach Moshe b'matnat, Yismach Moshe b'matnat, matnat chelko. Klil tiferet b'rosha natata be'amda lefanecha al har Sinai u'shnei luchot avanim horid b'yado v'chatuv bahem shemirat Shabbat. Yismach Moshe b'matnat, Yismach Moshe b'matnat, Yismach Moshe b'matnat, b'matnat chelko v'chein katuv b'toratecha v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat la'asot et haShabbat l'doratom b'rit olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti li'olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash. V'lo netato Adonai Eloheinu l'goyei ha'aratzot, v'lo hinchalto malkeinu li'avdei v'silim, v'gam b'menuchato lo yishkenu arelim, ki l'Yisrael amcha natata b'yava, l'zer Yaakov asher bam bacharta, am kadshei shivi'i, kulam yispeu, Bitanegu mituvecha, v'hashvi'i rahatzitavo v'kidashto, chemdat yamim oto karata, secher l'maseh v'reshit. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu ritzei b'menuchatenu kadshenu b'mitzvotecha v'tein chelkenu v'toratecha sabenu mituvecha v'samchenu v'shuatecha v'taher lipenu la'avdecha be'emet V'hanchilenu Adonai Eloheinu V'ahava uv'ratzon Shabbat Kodshecha V'anuchu v'Yisrael Mekadshei Shemecha Baruch Ata Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcha Yisrael utfilatam v'ashev et avodat litvir ve'techa utfilatam be'avat kabel b'ratzon utehil ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael emecha. V'techazena einenu b'shivcha l'tzion b'rachamim Baruch Ata Adonai Hamachazir Shinato l'tzion Modi manachnu la. Atov kilo cholaracham mecha, amrachem kilo tamu chasadecha, meolam kivinu lach. V'al kulam, yitbarach v'yitrabam shimcha malkenu tamid li'olam va'ed, v'chol hachayim yoducha sela, v'alalu et shimcha b'emet, ha'el yeshuatenu v'ezratenu sela, Baruch Ata Adonai Hatov Shimcha Ulachanu Elohodo Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu Barchenu Babracham Shuleshet BaTorah HaKtuva Al Yedei Moshe Avdecha Hamurot Mipi Aharon Uvanav Kohanim Am Kedoshecha Ka'amur Yivarecha Adonai v'Yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael amecha. Barchenu avinu kulanu ke'echad v'yor panecha. Ki v'yor panecha nahatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu. Torat chayim v'ahavat chesed u'tzedaka. Uveracha v'rachamim v'chayim v'shalom v'rachamim v'chayim v'shalom v'tov b'einecha levarech et amecha damcha Yisrael b'chol eit uv'chol shah Bishlomecha Baruch Ata Adonai Tamavorech et Amo Yisrael Vashalom.
Page 167.
Yitkara v'yitkada shemei rabbah. V'yolamat divra chirute v'yamlich malchute. V'chayichon uv'yomechon uv'chayi dechol beit Yisrael. Bagala uv'izman kari v'imeru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevorach. Le'olam u'le'ol me'omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh. Vitadar vitalev vitalal shmei kudesh shabarichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata damiran bi'olama v'imeru titkabel tzlo ton uvo ton dechol Yisrael kadam avu hon divi shmaya v'imeru amen yehi shlomo rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Oh, says shalom bimromav, huya says shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen.
Turn back the Siddur to 112 for the Psalm for Shabbat.
Hayom yom Shabbat kodesh, shabo hayu v'mikdash mizmor shel yom haShabbat. Tov la'olot Adonai mizamor shel yom lagid ba'boker chazdecha. Ki samachtani. Tzadikata amar yifrach kerez balvanon yiske shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Oh, Denuvum Veseva, Deshenim Verananim, Yehu Lehagid, Ki Ashar Adonai, Turi, Velo Avlatavo.
Warner's Kaddish on page 121 for those reciting today. Yigadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah v'yalmad yivrach pirutei v'yamliv malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei tefol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei amaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudesha richu le'ela min kol birchatav shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Yishar kochem to everyone who has participated so far in the service, and we're on page 168 for the beginning of the Torah service. Malchut kol olamim u'meshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imlach le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz le'lo yitein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. 170 at the bottom.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Gadol Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Gadol Shemo.
Gadol Adonai iti, uleromem Hashemo yachdav.
Adonai
Hagidula,
v'hagevura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod ki haaretz ki b'shamayim haaretz lecha Adonai hamamlacha. Adam raglav kadoshu. Romemu, Romemu, Adonai Eloheinu, Ve'ishacharu, 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 Ki kadosh, Ki kadosh, Ki kadosh, Adonai Eloheinu. Kol haolam kulo, Gesher Tzamehot, Gesher Tzamehot, Gesher Tzamehot, Gesher Tzamehot, Gesher Tzamehot. We may be seated. V'ha'ikar, v'ha'ikar, lo lefached kwa, v'ha'ikar, v'ha'ikar, lo lefached kwa. There are little ways that we bring high holy days, like lingering into the new year. For Simchat Torah night, we'll have a little bit of high holy day Yusa, actually in the Torah reading. So that for me to say, life is a narrow bridge. The important thing is not to be afraid, is to me adding a little bit of the high holy day themes into the new year. Here we go. I'm going to invite Michael Simon to share a couple of words. The Torah portion is Ha'azinu, and it can be found on page 1185 in the Eitz Chaim, or we are in chapter 32 of Devarim. And I'd like him to share a few words at this time. I'm going to step back.
Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom. And thank you, Nadav, for letting me share a few words about Hazinu. It occurred to me when I woke up this morning, if I'm going to read the whole portion, I really should say something about it. I think so too. And so I picked up my handy words of Torah, or, now I'm forgetting the name of the book. A nice little book with Parsha. Every week there's a commentary about the Parsha. And so the second commentary talks about a 13-year-old boy that had to memorize Hazinu. The whole class had to memorize Hazinu, and they said there was a special trope for it, which I don't know if there is, but there was a special trope for it. And of course, he was talking about himself. So what does that make me think of? Of course, I didn't meet Ron when I was 13. Neither of us are that old. But I thank Ron for Hazinu, because Ron encouraged me every year to learn another little bit of a Hazinu. And I think actually I want to throw Barry Neiman in here also, because he kind of put me over the top of learning the whole thing and continuing it with Pocket Torah, which is a wonderful app. And I could share it with you after Shabbat. Okay, so what does Hazinu mean? I had enough time to read these two commentaries, and I have long enough time from my house to walk here to think about this. And I was able to practice this little Devar Torah with Ed outside, who is excellent for listening and talking to. One would wonder, what does this mean? Because it's just Moses ranting. It's just all these awful things. He says, ask the fathers and ask the elders, and nobody listens anyway, and all the people are really awful, and this is horrible. I wonder if another meaning is sort of the origin of the permanent record. Remember that permanent record when we were in kindergarten, our parents said, it's going to be on your permanent record. Well, Moses was asked to speak to the rock, and he hit the rock for water. Of course, he did wonderful things after that, but when it came to the end, does he get to go to the promised land? God looked at his permanent record. He hit the rock. Nope, he goes up to the mountain to die. But I think there's probably a more positive message from Hazinu. And if you look carefully at the English in between the ranting of Moses, there are little discussion. There's the dew, the tal. There's the droplets of rain. There's the shimmering. There's a little like the water sifting through. So I think the message, is like that quantity versus quality. My age of being a parent, we're all working so much. Oh, well, we have quality time with our kids. Well, I think this is talking about quality. So it's not necessarily the quantity of the big rain. What's important is the dew that occurs every morning. Maybe it's not the quantity of the Torah portion that we learn every week or reading the whole thing, or even going to Sunday school and getting a lot of quantity, but it's what happens at home every day. So there's a lot of potential analogies I thought of. Graduating medical school is a big quantity, but really the quality is what you do every day after that. And I remember when I was in college, one professor said, once you graduate medical school, every day is like a final exam. And it's what our parents teach us, to say good morning to everybody and to move the rock from the sidewalk so the person doesn't trip over it. So I think there's a lot of really special messages here in Hazinu. And please take a look as I read.
I was thinking of like Moses's words about the tribes. He's creating their permanent record. That's so that was a perfect lead in. I want to just be like a little bit experimental. I'm in a more experimental mood after coming through the high holy days. I hope we all are in our lives. And so I said in the Rosh Hashanah sermon about 12-step that I wasn't sure yet how I wanted to integrate it, but I didn't want it to be performative. Like, well, now and then when we do the Mishberach, we'll feel bad for people who have addiction. Like, I don't want to be othering about it. So I had an idea, inspired a little bit just by what you said. And one of my favorite of the books that is now out permanently is Rabbi Mark Borowitz's book, which is a little Torah each day based on the parsha for people who are struggling with addiction or in recovery or have been in recovery for some time. So maybe what if I just share one line before each Torah reading, because I think they're universal. So today, before Michael reads, I'll just share one thing. In Hazinu, Rabbi Borovitz is the creator of, I think, the first full-time 12-step recovery synagogue in LA. I got a chance to daven there several times. It's called Beit Teshuvah, House of Tshuva, which mixes with Rosh Hashanah. Like I said, this is crazy. Recovery is really translated as Tshuva, and that's what we're doing. And of course, himself permanently like in recovery. So he says, Hazinu says, give ear, O heavens. What are your ears open to hearing? What truths might your ears be blocked from hearing? Call up our first aliyah. Kohen Kirbi Ta'amod. We've met before. Chaya Rezo. Zaman HaKohen Ve'edo Baruch Netantel Moshe B'Kedushato V'Yadem HaVeikim B'Adonai Elohim Chayim V'Lefem Hayom. By the way, this is the only Torah. This is the only parasha whose divisions are specified in the Talmud.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Morach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Hazinu hashamayim ve'adabera v'tishma ha'aretz imrei fi. Yarov kamatar lihi tizal katal imrati kasirim ale dashev v'kirviim ale esav ki shem Adonai ekraa chavu goda leloheinu chatzur tamim palo ki chol derachav mishpat El emunah ve'ein avel sadik v'yashar hu shiched lo banav mumam dor ekesh uvtalto haladonai ting blusod amnaval v'lo chacham halohu aviha kanecha u'ascha v'ikonecha.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam notav b'tocheinu. Baruch Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yeshar kol chei. Our Levi or Bat Levi. Ya'amod. Levi. Ben Yonah Halevi Vasara. La'aliyah. Shel Levi.
Baruch Hama, Baruch et Adonai Hamavarach.
Baruch
Baruch Adonai Hamavarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher B'char Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
Amen. Zachor Yemot Olam Binul Shenot Dor Vador. Sha'al Avicha V'yadgacha Zikaincha Avayom Rula'ach V'chanchel El Yon Goyim Chafrido B'nei Adam Yatzei Kibulot Amim L'mispar B'nei Yisrael Ki Chelech Adonai Amo Yaakov Chevel Nachalato Yimsa Ehu Be'eretz Midbar Uvtohu Yalel Yishimon Yusovenhu Yavonehu Yitzrenhu Keishon Eno Kanesher Yair Kino Al Gozalav Yirachef Yifros Kanafan Yikachehu Yisaehu Al Efrato Adonai Badad Yanchenu Ve'enimo El Necha.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Semet B'chayei Olam Natan B'tzidchenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Yeshua. And Shlishi. Ya'amod. Wait, one more time. Gershon Aryeh ben Svivalea, Aliyah Hashlishit. Of course, it's written in the margin, but we're on verse 12.
Baruch et Adonai Hamavarach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher b'char banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Yarkivehu Abamate Aretz Vayochal Tunuvot Sadai Vayenikehu Davash Misela Vishemen Mechal Misur Kamad Bakar B'chalev Son In Chelev Kavrim Ve'lim B'nei Vashan Ve'atudim In Chelev Kilyod Chita B'dam Eitzav Einaav Tishta Chamer Vayishma'an Yishavrun Vayiva Ad Shamata Avita Kasita Vitosh Eloa Asahu Vinavel Sur Yeshua To'o Yakni Uhu Visarim Vitoe Bo Jaki Suhu Yisbehu Vashedim Lo Eloha Elohim Lo Yada'um Kadashim Mikrov Ba'u Lo Sa'arum Avotehem Sur Yiladechad Teshi V'tishkach Al Mechalelecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher natan lanu Torah temet b'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. I'm sorry, it's not polite of me that when Michael's reading an entire Torah reading to be picky, but I'm so picky about that word. Like, the name of, when we say God, it's not aloha. Aloha is when you're in Hawaii and you're saying hello to somebody. And the name of God, the hey has a big dot in it, which means it's Eloah. And so
it's like an ayin.
it's like an ayin, but it's really like a ched at the end. So like if you would say, lishloach, you don't say lishlocha. So like I'm picky because it's got funny that way. So Revi'i Ya'amod Kadesh ben Avram B'Sara le'aliyah ha'revi'it.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher b'char banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch et Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Vayar Adonai vayinatz mika'as banav uvnotav vayomer asira panai mehem ma'acharitam Kidor tapuchot hema banim lo emun ba'am. Haim ki uni v'lo el ki asuni v'chavlechem v'ani akni ein v'lo a'am v'goy naval akti se'en ki yesh kadhaba fi vatikad od sha'al taktid v'tochal eretz v'bula v'atlachet moste harim aspe alemo ra'ot Hitzai achale ba'am mize ra'av uchume reshek v'ketav meriri v'shem v'chemod ashalach ba'am im chomat zochale afar michuz tichshachel cherev mechadarim ema gam bachur gam betula yoneg im ish seva Amarti afecham ashbita me'eno sikram lule ka'as oyev agor penyanakru sarimo pen yamru yadena rama v'lo Adonai pal kol zod ki goy ovad et sod chema ben bahem tevuna.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah temet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yeshua Koah. Which takes us to our, was that was Hamishi. No, that was Rivi. Thank you. Hamishi, Yata Amor, Surah Malka. Bat Yosef Ebracha la'aliyah ha'chamishit. Verse 29.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen. Lu Hachmu Yashki Luzod Yavinu L'charitam Echa Yedov Echad Elef Ushnaim Yanisu Rebava Imlo Kisuram Mikabraam Adonai Hiskiram Ki Lo Kitsurenu Suram Voyavenu Pililim Kimi Geffen Sodom Gafnaam Meshadam Mo'ot Amorah Anavi Mo'o Inve Ro'osh Ashkelo Merorod Lamo Chamat Taninim Yenam Verosh Petanim Aksa'ar Halohu Kamas Imadi Kamus Imadi Katum Beltrotai Li Nakam Vishilaim Le'et Tamut Raglam Ki Karov Yom Edam Behash Atidot Lamo Ki Yadin Adonai Amao Be'al Avodav Yitmecham Ki Yir'eh Ki Azlat Ya'ad Be'efes Atzur Ve'azu Ve'amar Elohimo Sur Hasayu Bo'o Asher Chelev Nekame Mo'o Yochelu Yishtan Yishtu Yen Nisicham Yakumu Vasruchem Yehi Alechem Sitra'a Re'u Ata'a Kiani Anihu Ben Elohim Imadi Ani Amit Ve'achaye Machasi Vani Ha'a Ben Miadi Matzil.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Beautiful. And our Shishi Aliyah. Ta'amod. Malkaba lebo v'fegi la'aliyah hashishit. Verse 40.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. And Ki asa el shamayim yadi v'amarti chai anochi le'olam im shanoti v'rak harbi v'tochez b'mishpat yadi ashkiv nakam l'sar ashkiv nakam l'sarai v'nishanai ashalem ashkir hitzai midam v'harbi tochal basar Midam halal v'shivya merosh parot oyev haninu goyim amo midam avodav yikom v'nakam yashiv l'sarai v'kiper amato amo.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Not to jinx Michael for the last aliyah, but I mean, these are words that without the vowels look like other words. Because of the poetry, the vowels get shifted. And so you're sure you know that word, but the vowels are totally different. So it's really tricky and just beautifully read. And we're so grateful, Michael, for your preparation. I know it goes back a long way, but every year is a new challenge. Our Shvi'i Aliyah, we're ready. Our seventh Aliyah. Oh, no. Wait, supposed to be, oh, gotcha. Is she here? Oh, there she is. Everyone's met. Rivka.
Ruth Gershon.
But Ruth Gershon Aliyah Shvi'it. We're going to be on verse 44, right after the poetry.
Baruch Adonai hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch.
Baruch Adonai hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Vayavo Moshe v'daber kol divrei hashira hazod ve'oznei ha'am hu v'Hoshea ben Nun v'chal Moshe v'daber et kol hadavarim ha'ela el kol Yisrael v'yomer alechem simu levavchem l'chol advarim Asher Anochi me'it bachem hayom Asher Sisavum et b'nechem Lishmor lasod et kol divrei haTorah hazod ki lo davar rekum mikem ki hu hayechem udavar hazeh tarichu yamim al adamah Asher atem ovrim et hayarden shama l'rishta vayidaber Adonai el Moshe ve'etzem hayom hazel lemor el ha'avarim hazel harnevo Asher be'eretz Moav, Asher el pnei Yericho, Ur'eh et eretz Canaan, Asher ani notein lifnei Yisrael lahuzah umud bahar, Asher ata ole shama ve'asev el amecha kasher meit. Aharon achicha bechor hahar yasef el amaav asher meltem bi b'toch b'nei Yisrael b'mei merivat kadesh midbar sin al asher lo kidashtem oti b'toch b'nei Yisrael Kimi neged tira et haaretz b'shama lo tavo al haaretz el haaretz asher ani notain lifnei Yisrael.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam nata b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Wendy, did you intentionally match Michael's talit with, or is these things happening with love?
It's our
Is it your,
This is our huppah.
really?
Yeah.
Gosh, talk about that's real love in person.
And real love was listening to him practice all these weeks.
Not touching that one. We're going to be praying for our cholim at this time. I asked you to offer names, and we're doing it in the usual way. Here we go. Mishibir Achaboteinu Abraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah v'Yivarech v'Yirapeh cholim. Mayim Shira B'Chaya Elisheva. David ben Abba Baruch Gloria, Sam Silver, Judith Elkin, Azriel Shel Shlomihi, Naomi Chaya Bat Shlomihi, Shalom Zev ben Moshe, Yefifya Ba Yosef Yehudihi, Meir ben Hillel Blum Abbas, Yudol Shlama ben Avram Yitzchak Berochel, Chaya Bat Hasna Rochel B'Shmuel David, Asher Menachem Shlomo Isaacs, the Et.
Jeff Hoffman.
Those recovering from the hurricanes. ואת כל החולים בגילה קדושה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא רחמים עליהם, להחזיקם רפאתם וישלח להם מהרה רפואה שלמה מן השמיים, רפואת הנפש, רפואת הגוף, בתוך חולי ישראל, שבאתי מלזכר רק רבה לבוא, השתה בעגלה בזמן קריב ונאמר, אמן, יתגדע ויקדש שמי רבה, ילמד דברי פרטי וימליט מלכותי, בחיי כל ויומך, ובחיי כל בית ישראל, ועגלה בזמן קריב ואמרו, אמן. יהי שמרה בלברה, יעלם לעולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויפאר בשמם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה, לעילא מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירם ועלמא ואמרו, אמן. יעמוד.
For the Maftir reading, we return to verse 48.
Aryeh ben David Herzliya, Hamaftir.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך,
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Amen. וידבר אדוני אל משה בעצם היום הזה לאמור, אל העברים הזה, הר נבו, אשר בארץ מואב, אשר אל פני יריחו, וראה את ארץ כנען, אשר אני נותן לפני ישראל לאחוזה ומאוד. בהר אשר אתה עולה שמה להסב אל עמך כאשר מת, Acharon achicha b'chor hahar yasef el amav al asher meltem bi betok b'nei Yisrael b'mei merivat kadesh midbar sin al asher lo kidashtem oti betoch b'nei Yisrael el ki kimi negev tira et haaretz v'shama lo tavo el haaretz asher ni noten livnei Yisrael.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Before we lift the scroll, I want to note that I'm really grateful to have so many of our teenagers with us today. And I know it's been a long couple of weeks, and I love seeing you guys. So I'm like so grateful. And I'll tell you one thing that really there are amazing connections in Torah that apply to your lives. It's not just ancient. And one thing is, I know many of you have talked to me, and I've heard in your Divrei Torah at your past bar about mitzvahs that you're very concerned about the environment. And the Torah is too, but it's not obvious sometimes. So here twice it says Moses was v'yeh. His death is he is gathered unto his kin. And you may say, why is death you are gathered? And the reason was biblical burial was extremely ecological, because anytime you had land that could actually be farmed, you're not going to use that for cemeteries. So biblical burial was in caves, and there would be a deeply dug hole, or they'd find a naturally deeply dug hole. And what would happen is that the body would be left initially to decompose until it became bones. And then the bones would be gathered up, not kept vertical, would be gathered up in a pile and would be dropped down the hole. It's called an ossuary. And so ecological burial was one hole. Well, I hope I didn't gross anybody out. One hole would be it could be dozens, maybe even hundreds of bones in one place, not taking up any earth, not causing any ecological distress. And so the term in the Bible for dying is being gathered unto your kin, because and sometimes it says your bones will be gathered unto your kin because of an extremely ecologically friendly process. If you ever get a chance to travel to Israel and you're exploring, please make time to explore. There are a lot of the burial caves easy to explore at this time because they're all over Israel. You can just go in a cave and you can see there would be ledges and there would be holes, and the ledges would be where the body was laid out to have the flesh decompose before the bones be placed in the circle. So lots of little hints in the Torah, and thank you for allowing me a little discursus. My Devar Torah will be very short and to compensate. Here we go. Our lifter and our right, I'm calling up a righty and a dresser of the scroll. So whoever is our lifter should be right-handed. Are you?
Forgive me for not opening it up.
Yeah, I'm doing like Bahaba Likli La. It's Chaim Hila Machazikim. We may be seated. Moses' death song is now succeeded by David's death song. It's in 2 Samuel chapter 22. for those who are streaming and using such sources. And it is on page 1197 in the Eitz Chaim. I leave it to yourself to see the differences and the commonalities. Again, page 1197.
So Shabbat Shalom. Rav Nadav invited me to say a few words if I wanted to. I didn't really have anything to say. Where's Michael? After Michael's reading, I'm really, there's very little I can say, except that I think you should get this every year from now on. Shitchiyad me'av esrim, live to be 120.
By the way, Michael does get this every year, just to let you know.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim ורצה בדבריהם הנאמרים באמת. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בתורה ובמשה עבדו ובישראל עמו ובנביאי האמת בצדק. וידבר דוד לאלוהי לאדוני את דברי השירה הזאת ביום הציל אדוני אותו מכף כל אויביו ומכף שאול ויאמר אדוני צלעי ומצודתי ומפלטי לי אלוהי צורי אכסה בו מגיני וקרן אישי משכבי ומנוסי ומושעי מחמס תושיעני מהולל אקרא אדוני ומאויבי אבשע כי יפפוני משפרי מוות נחלי בליעל יבעטוני הבלי שאול סבוני קידמוני מוקשי מוות בצר לי אקרא אדוני ואל אלוהי אקרא וישמע מהיכלו קולי ושבעתי באזניו ויתגעש ותרעש הארץ מוסדות השמיים ירגזו ויתגעשו כל הרעלו עלה עשן באפו ואש מפיו תאכל גחלים בערו ממנו ויט שמיים וירד וערפל תחת רגליו וירכב על כרוב ויעוף וירא על כנפי רוח וישב חושך סביבותיו סוכות השרת מים אבישחקים מנוגה נגדו בערו גחלי אש ירעם מן שמיים אדוני ועליון ייתן קולו וישלח עצים ויפיצם ברק ויהום ויראו אפיקי ים יגלו מוסדות תבל בגערת אדוני מנשמת רוח אפו, ישלח ממרום, ייקחני, ימשני ממים רבים, יצילני מאויבי אז, משונאי כי ימצאו ממני, יקדמוני ביום עדי, ויהי אדוני משגב לי, ויוצא מרחב אותי יחלצני כי חפץ בי. יגמלני אדוני כצדקתי, כבור ידי ישיב לי, כי שמרתי דרכי אדוני, ולא רשעתי מאלוהי, כי כל משפטיו לנגדי, וחוקותיו לא אסור ממנה, והיה תמים לו, ושתמרה מעווני. וישב אדוני לי כצדקתי, כבורי לנגד עיניו, אם חסיד תתחסד, אם כבוד תמים תתמם, אם נבר תתבר, ואם עיקש תטפל, ואת עמי תושיע, ועיניך ארמים תשפיל, כי אתה נרי אדוני, ואדוני יגיע השקיעי, כי בך ערוץ גדוד, באלוהי אדלג שור, האל תמים דרכו, אמרת אדוני צרופה, מגן הוא לכל החוסים בו, כי מאל מבלעדי אדוני, ומצור מבלעדי אלוהינו, האל מעוזי חיל, ויתר תמים דרכי, משווה רגלי כאיילות, ועל במותי יעמדני, מלמד ידי למלחמה, ונחקשת נחושה זרועותי, ותיתן לי מגן אישך, וענותך תרבני, תרחיב צעדי תחתני, ולא מעדו חרסולי, ירדפה אויבי ואשמידם, ולא אשוב על כלותם, וחלם ומחצם לא יקומון, ויפלו תחת רגלי, ותעזרני חיל למלחמה, תכריע קמי תחתני, ואויבי תתלי עורף משנאי, ועצמיתם ישעו, ואין מושיע אל אדוני לא אנם, ושקם כעפר הארץ, כתחוצות אדם קם, ארכאיהם, ותפלתני, מריבי עמי, תשמרני לראש גויים, עם לא ידעתי, יעבדוני, בני נכר, תתכחשו לי, לשמוע אוזן, ישמוע לי, בני נכר יבולו, יחקרו ממזכרותם, חי אדוני, וברוך צורי, ויקום אלוהי, צור ישעי, האל הנותן נקמות לי, ומוריד עמים תחתני, ומוציאי מאויבי, ומקמי תרום ממני, מאיש חמסים תצילני, על כן עודך אדוני בגויים, ולשמך אזמר, מגדול ישועות מלכו, ועושה חסד למשיחו, לדוד ולזרעו עד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, צור כל העולמים, צדיק בכל הדורות, האל הנאמן, האומר ועושה, האומר ועושה, המדבר ומקיים, שכל דבריו אמת וצדק. נאמן אתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו, ונאמן דבריך, ודבר אחד מדבריך, לכור לא ישוב ריקם, כי אל מלך נאמן ורחמן אתה. ברוך אתה אדוני אל הנאמן בכל דבריו. רחם על ציון כי היא בית חיינו, ועלובות נפש תושיע במהרה בימינו. ברוך אתה אדוני משמח ציון בבניה. שמחנו אדוני אלוהינו באליהו הנביא עבדך, ובמלכות בית דוד משיחך, במהרה יבוא ויגל ליבנו. על כיסו לא ישב זר, לא ינחלו עוד אחרים את כבודו, כי בשם קודשך נשבעת לו, שלא יכבה נרו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן דוד, על התורה ועל ההודעה ועל הנביאים ועל יום השבת הזה שנתת לנו אדוני אלוהינו, לקדושה ולמנוחה, לכבוד ולתפארת. על הכל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך, ויתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Yeshua Koach. We're on 176. And I'll start us off with a little Yukum Porkan, but then in just a moment, we're going to have the Lassers up in just a moment for Ashrei on page 181. Or two of the Lassers. Wait, I see. Does I yell at? Oh, there you go. Sorry, the mask. Yukum Porkan min Shemaya. Vishlach beracha v'ha'atzlacha b'chol maseh yedehem mimgo Yisrael achehem v'nomar amen. Ask Ayelet and Itai to come forward. We're on 181. Do it from whichever side you want. So sides.
Ashrei Ashrei Vetecha Od Yahalu Chasela Ashrei Ashrei Kapalo Ashrei Shadonai Eloha Tehillah LeDavid Aramim Chalai HaMelech V'Rachashim Chalei Olam Va'ed Rachashim Chalei Olam Va'ed Gadol Adonai Umelal Me'od Ve'li Julato Ein Cheker Hadar kevod hodecha, v'divrei niflotecha asicha, v'suzarotecha yomeru. Zecher avtucha yabiu, v'tzitchatcha yiranenu. Ani baruchu Adonai, baruchu Adonai, Tov Adonai lakol, v'rachamav al kol ma'asav. Ducha Adonai kol ma'asecha. Chasidecha yevachucha, kevod malchucha yomeru, uvurotecha yedaberu, lehodia libnei hatamruta, v'od hadar malchuto, malchucha malchut kol amim, umamshatecha bechol dor vador, zomer Adonai lechol anofim, v'zecher kol hakukim. Ele kol elecha yisaberu, ve'atanotem lahem et aklam beito, oteach et yadecha, u'masliach lechol saon, sadik Adonai bechol derachav, v'chasid bechol ma'asav, karov Adonai lechol porav, v'chol asher yikra'u be'emet, Reitzon Yeriat Yaseh, Ve'et Shabbatam Yishma V'Yoshiem, Shomer Adonai Rabba, Ve'chol Yoshim Yashiv, Tehillat Adonai Yedaber Pi, V'Yivarech Kol Basar Shem Kadsho Le'olam Va'ed.
V'anachnu nevarechka, me'ata v'ad olam. Hallelujah. 183. Yahalelu et Shem Adonai ki niskav shemo levado oto ha'eret v'shamayim v'yarem keret li'anam tzivalecho chasida livnei Yisrael amirovo. Mizmor leDavid. Adonai Almighty, Adonai Almighty. Sophia Alro to behave hello, Kulo Merkapo. Ufilcho Shoma. Ki lekach tov natati lachem torati al ta'azovu et hayim lamachazikim ha v'tom checha me'usha d'rachecha darkei noam v'chol netivotecha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Master of the universe, in whose hand is the breath of all life and the soul of every person, grant us the gift of Shabbat, a day of rest from our labors. With all of our senses, may we perceive the glory of your works. Fill us with your goodness that we may attest to your great deeds. Strengthen us to become your faithful partners, preserving the world for the sake of future generations. Lord our God, God of our ancestors, may it be your will to renew your blessing of the world in our day, as you have done from the beginning of time. A prayer for our country.
Our God and God of our ancestors, with mercy accept our prayer on behalf of our country and its government. Pour out your blessing upon this land, upon its inhabitants, upon its leaders, its judges, officers, and officials who faithfully devote themselves to the needs of the public. Help them understand the rules of justice you have decreed so that peace and security, happiness and freedom will never depart from our land. Adonai, God, whose spirit is in all creatures, we pray that your spirit be awakened within all the inhabitants of our land. Uproot from our hearts hatred and malice, jealousy and strife. Plant love and companionship, peace and friendship among the many peoples and faiths who dwell in our nation. Grant us the knowledge to judge justly, the wisdom to act with compassion, and the understanding and courage to root out poverty from our land. May it be your will that our land be a blessing to all who dwell on earth, and may you cause all peoples to dwell in friendship and freedom. Speedily fulfill the vision of your prophets. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. For all of them, from the least of them to the greatest, shall know me. And let us say, Amen.
Amen. Prayer for the state of Israel. Page 178. First in Hebrew.
Avinu Shabashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'Goalo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Shetehei Reshit Tzmichat Ge'ulatenu, Hagen Aleha Be'ahava Be'evrat Chasdecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha, Ushlach Orcha V'Amitcha L'Rasheha, Zareha V'Yoatzeha, V'Taknem Be'etzah Tova Milpanecha, Chazek et Yidei Meginei Yisrael Kodshenu, V'Hanchilem Eloheinu Yeshua, V'Ateret Nitzachon Ta'atrem, V'Natata Shalom Ba'aretz, V'Simchat Olam L'Yoshveha, V'Nomar Amen.
Amen. That one doesn't work. Just
Oh, that's funny. Thank you. Avinu Shabashamayim, stronghold and redeemer of the people Israel. Bless the state of Israel, the beginning of our redemption. Shield it with your love, spread over it the shelter of your peace. Guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Help them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land. Deliver them, crown their efforts with triumph. Bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy. And let us say,
And a prayer for peace.
May we see the day when war and bloodshed cease, when a great peace will embrace the whole world.
human family will not again know war.
For all who live on earth shall realize we have not come into being to hate or to destroy. We've come into being to praise, to labor, and to love.
Compassionate God, bless the leaders of all nations with the power of compassion.
Fulfill the promise conveyed in Scripture. I will bring peace to the land. And you shall lie down, and no one shall terrify you.
I will rid the land of vicious beasts, and it shall not be ravaged.
Let justice and righteousness flow like a mighty river. Let God's peace fill the earth as the waters fill the sea. And let us say,
Amen. Amen. You can be seated. I probably would have thought of something different to share if I had thought so many of the teenagers would show up. My lack of faith. I figure you guys are so incredibly busy that, so I do want to say to the teenagers here that in the Yom Kippur sermon, I talked about the relationship we have between chatter in our heads and thoughts that really are like make us feel like it's the real us. Is the real us the worried one and the nervous one and the stressed out one, or is there another real one within us? One of the techniques that I've used before on High Holy Days in previous years, and Ethan Cross also puts in the book Chatter, is the relationship to time exercise. I have to admit, I learned it from Oprah. And many, many years ago when you guys were probably just born. But it's a very common technique. And since many of us, I was with you the other day and we talked about your relationship to God being your relationship to time, that one of the techniques is to say, for the things I'm trying to figure out what I have to do right now, I'm juggling so much and I have to make a decision, right? Do I go to shul, synagogue? Do I go to school? Do I do this assignment? Or do I take a walk? Do I spend time with my friends? Or that one of the questions to ask is, how will I feel about my decision in 10 days? How will I feel about my decision in 10 months? And how will I feel about my decision in 10 years? It's a very commonly used technique. And so I would say that I'm sure you had things that you needed to do today because there's a lot pressing on you. And that probably by being somewhere else today, in 10 days, your life might be a little easier. But I hope you know that in 10 months and in 10 years, looking back about the things that, bring us peace in our hearts. It's times like, choosing out of the blue to spend time in synagogue and with us and with each other, and the Sundays that you spend in 2010. So I just want to say, it's a technique that we're grateful to have you. And sometimes it helps clear the chatter away. Another technique that I've tried to share with everyone is to adopt the rabbi's mindset of not seeing your life in Hellenistic terms. Hellenistic terms are your life is a journey and you're a hero and you will go off and battle monsters and you will overachieve, and achieving means you will get into the college of your choice. So if you don't get into the college of your choice, your hero story is a tragedy, and how will you go on? So the hero story that we've basically modern Western culture has, it stresses us out, because what if we fail as the hero? What if we don't overcome some of the things that are challenging us? And so the rabbis just get rid of that whole story. They say the story we want you to internalize is creation, redemption, and revelation, that your life is a circle, and it can be circles within circles within circles. And there are three things circling inside you as your journey. One is your connection to nature. And when you are just feeling not connected to God, take a walk, right? Just go and sit in the leaves, sit in the sukkah. The sukkah is your connection to God through nature. And another one is redemption, right? Which is your connection to God through social justice. It's through helping those who are not free because they're broke or they're homeless or they're sick or they have challenges. And it's like, when you're like, look, our whole identity is the fact that we were slaves and we're not. Compassion, aiding, helping, social justice. If you're too stressed out and you've got chatter, go do that. And it'll get you out of your head and back to who you really are. And it's also a common technique for people, especially teenagers, but families are totally stressed out, is instead of being like, well, we could spend 5 years in therapy, saying we're actually going to go help people today. Because you connect to God through redeeming others, because we were redeemed. Get you out of your head. And the third one is revelation, right? Enlightenment, thinking. That book that just amazed me. This book is taking me somewhere else. Or I learned something from a conversation with a friend, and it made me feel better. Or, I'm watching you guys change before my eyes, and I'm watching more and more Torah coming out of your mouths. So it's like you have Torah, you have enlightenment that you're practicing, wisdom and light. So these are the three things. It's not a hero fighting monsters. You're a person that's always connecting through nature, through redeeming, social justice, and through thoughts, enlightenment, wisdom, growing and maturing. And all of those are actually in verse 11 of today's parashah, according to the rabbis. Verse 11 of chapter 32 says, like an eagle who rouses its nestlings, hovering over its young, so did God spread God's wings and take him and bear him along his wings. Bearing along his spreads arms, take him, bearing along his pinions. So the rabbis actually say, because they see it everywhere, this pattern, they say revelation, redemption, and creation. Like an eagle who rouses its nestlings, that is revelation. That is enlightenment. Because in Sifrei Deuteronomy, the eagle does not fly. What does it mean an eagle rouses its nestlings? It doesn't just say, alarm goes off, get up and get to the bus for school. That is not the pleasant way to wake someone up. So the rabbi says, rousing the nestlings is gently, a little nudge on one side of the bed, a little nudge on the other side of the nest, a little nudge this way, a little nudge that way, all four directions. Avinu Malkeinu, the great parent bird of God, slowly rouses its nestlings. Likewise, at Sinai, God did not descend suddenly and unexpectedly. God knew the experience of Sinai would be terrifying. And so through smoke and fire and shofar blasts, so God aroused the people gradually. Midrash adds, God came to Israel from 4 different directions. So that gentle. So it is, the first refers to this process we go through of revelation, of learning, enlightenment, reading, Torah, other forms of like education, curiosity, understanding how the universe works, and growing. The next phrase refers to creation, hovering over its young. Why? Same word as what we're about to get to in Genesis, which is God hovered over the faces of the waters before there was, out of which all of nature came. Genesis 1:2, the Spirit of God mirachefet over the waters, it hovered. And so at the beginning of time, before God separated the waters, everything comes out of the water. Remember that we're actually, people forget, people think we're land creatures. We are not land creatures, we are water creatures. Evolutionarily, we came out of the water before we got the legs to walk, so that we come from the water as all life does. And we were basically walking packets of ocean. We are portable ocean. That's why we drink electrolytes and going on land. So your connection to nature, they say it's creation right there. And they remind us that Ben Zoma, the famous rabbi, the Tosefta, who his thing is to meditate, to connect with the God who is in nature, and gets all the way in the meditations toward the actual moment of the waters producing the universe. It's kind of like studying physics and calculus and all the stuff. And it's great, except for the fact that he goes crazy and dies 3 days later. So it's the warning of sometimes studying physics can take you too far. Nature. Or people can say it's a beautiful thing. And then the final part of the verse, so did God spread God's wings and take and bear it in pinions, that is saving people through redemption. It's the eagle grabbing you and carrying you to safety. And that's the part of us, the social justice part of us. And in fact, Rashi, adds, it comes from the Midrash and the Mechilta, that you're saving someone. I mean, have you ever thought about this? We are carried on eagle's wings. Like, wait, aren't we carried down there on the pinions? Why are the wings? Because when people shoot arrows from down below, the mother eagle, the father eagle, the parent eagle takes the arrows, so that you're actually brought up by the pinions, and like in the social justice work, you're picked up, but then you are put on the wings to be protected. And so that is redemption. That is freeing others as we were freed. And it's interesting because then they say also, but is God really a bird? Some of the rabbis disagree. And they're like, well, it's the clouds in the wilderness. Like God is in the clouds, and it's like the clouds are absorbing arrows and you're above the clouds, which brings us to Sukkot in a couple of days. Because one of the interpretations of Sukkot is that the Israelites lived in physical Sukkot that we build. And the other famous interpretation of the Talmud is there were no physical Sukkot. People lived in clouds, and the clouds of glory were hovering around them. And that was their Sukkah. And so back to nature. So what does this all mean? It comes in the calendar, right? That we're coming at the end of the cycle, and we're about to start anew. And so we've gone through the Torah. We've gone through creation, then being redeemed at the beginning of Exodus. And then we've gone through living with the clouds all through the rest and receiving Torah continually. We've been wandering with enlightenment and growing. Then we do high holidays, and we're about to roll the Torah back and start again. And we're entering back into our Sukkot. We're entering back into nature. Being so close. I mean, we're going to get rained on this year, I'm pretty sure, like last year. So it's like we're back in the waters of creation. Isn't that a little scary? Isn't that? Oh, there are two things that sustain us. One is that unlike creation being a beginning point, like Michael did brilliantly in the study session on Yom Kippur, because we're in a cycle, when we go back to the beginning, this time we go back with a sense of purpose. It's not just we are unformed and void, God, and we are clay in the hand of the potter. It's that we are unformed and void and clay in the hand of the potter, but I know a little bit more about what I want to be in the coming year. And so it changes everything that you're in a cycle. We're going back to nature, back to the creation, but it's not scary because we have a sense of that we can change and what we want to be in the coming year. So I'll finish with a quote from my weekly mailing from the hippie Orthodox Bratislav Shul. I'm on the mailing list and I used to live down the street in Jerusalem so I used to go study over there. So it's a Orthodox Rabbi Nachman believers who are very, very hippie-ish and very, very intense. One of their rabbis said this, and they sent it out. After Yom Kippur, we feel homeless in our own homes. We don't want to live in a house where the protection is made out of stone or wood. We want to live in a house where it's clear to us that God's self, is directly protecting us. I don't want to live in a house where I cannot see the stars in the sky. I want to live in a house where every little star can send me a message of light. I don't want to live in a house where maybe even one Jew does not feel at home. I want to live in a house where every Jew and eventually the whole world feels at home, right? The Sukkah, the Ushpizim. My beautiful friends, every second in the Sukkah, you can taste paradise in the most eternal way. Once a year, we sit with our holy mothers and our holy fathers in the Sukkah. I bless you and me. Let it also be with our children, all the children of Israel, and eventually all the children of the world. And all year long, the Torah, let's face it, is a bit of a burden. Every word weighs 10,000 tons. And how often do we think it really is? Honestly, it just feels like a little too much. But after being in the Sukkah for 8 days, living in God's world again, the waters, nature, the stars, the sky, a cleansed and purified holy world, I suddenly realize how light the Torah is. It's not I who carries the Torah. It's the Torah that carries me. So I run out from the Sukkah straight to the holy ark of Simchat Torah, and I can dance for 48 hours. Before Sukkot, I could barely carry the Torah 4 steps. After Sukkot, I can carry the Torah forward forever. Shabbat Shalom. I invite Mira up to lead Musaf. We're on page 184. Please rise.
Let's bring that Full-throated El Nora, right? יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה, ועלמא דברה חירותי וימלך מלכותי בחייכנו יומכם ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב וימלא אמן. יהי שם רבה מבורך כעולם לעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ויאמרו
185.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Anora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim ve'Koneh Hakol, ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, ומביא גואל לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ופוקד ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ופוקד שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים בחסד מחיה ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו משני עפר. בעל גבורות ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה המתים.
187.
נעריצך ונקדישך כסוד שיח שרפי קודש המקדישים שמך בקודש ככתוב על יד נביאך וכזה אל זה ויאמר קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות מלך כל הארץ כבודו. כבודו מלא עולם משרתיו שואלים זה לזה איה מקום כבודו לעומתם ברוך יאמרו ברוך כבודו אדוני ממקומו הוא יפן ברחמים ויחונם עם יחד עם שמו ערב ובוקר פעמיים באהבה שמה אומרים שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד הוא אלוהינו הוא אבינו הוא מלכנו הוא מושיענו ברחמיו שנית שנית לעיני כל חי להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהים ובדברי
בקודשך כתוב לאמור, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור נגיד גדלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי על מלך גדול וקדוש אתה, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Those who are davening, please continue, and the rest of us are on 203.
Shalom Tova Uvracha, Chen V'Chesed V'Rachamim, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yisrael Amecha, Yikadal V'Yikadash Merabah, Ve'alma Divra Chiruteh Ve'amlech Malchuteh, B'chaychon U'Yom Echon U'B'chayei D'chol Beit Yisrael, Bagalau Bisman Kari Veimeru, Amen. Yehi Shnei Rabba Mevarach, Le'olam Le'ol Be'ol Maya, Yitvarach, Barach V'Shabach V'Kar V'Tromam V'Tnaseh, V'Tadar V'Taleh V'Talal Shmei Kudeshach Re'u, Le'ela Min Kol Berchata V'Shirata, Tushbechata V'Nechemata, Damiran Ve'ama Veimeru, תתקבל צלטון ובוטון דכל ישראל, קדם אבוהון דיבישמיה ואימרו. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואימרו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואימרו.
Katuv b'Toratecha, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
We may be seated for a moment. I'm going to call you back for Adon Olam. I was going to do them. So, but first, our Mourner's Kaddish, page 207. Beth Israel congregation members, among others this week, Max Edox, Violet Becker, Harold Blumson, Ruth Brooks, Irving Colton, Helen Elford, Leonard Fielk, Ada Friedman, William Fry, Aaron Gankin, Daniel Glicksberg, Herbert Goldstein, Sylvia Good, Clifford Kaslau, Florence Kovacs, Tamara Lifshitz, Samuel Margolin, Joseph Millett, Max Milstein, Doris Pagano, Sherry Peller, Jim Polachek, Itzhak Popovetsky, Ethel Roth, Marshall Sandfield, Natalie Scher, Lillian Singer, and Tova Smokler. As we continue to say Kaddish for Judith Cashton and Lorraine Sherman, Michael Adams, Leona Leon, Phyllis Werble, Fanchen Lessing, Carol Feinerman, David Fellman, Bruce Thal, Carol Amster, Gary Joseph Ullman, Paul Ernest Phillips, Leslie Garber Matthews, Raisa Levinskaya, about whom I spoke on Yom Kippur, Alice Cohen, Toby Barbin Rothaus, Vivian Perlstein, Marty Lindenauer, Bonnie Rosenberg, Harlene Appelman, Lionel Finkelstein, and we don't have her on here, but Art Schumann's sister. So we're saying Kaddish for her. Kaddish 207. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabba, v'yalma divra pirute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabba mevarach le'olam u'lamei maya, yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei d'kudesha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran v'ama v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, V'imru. Amen. May the members continue to bring blessings to this world. We have a lot of announcements. I'm going to go through many very quickly. I'm also going to invite Mira to add 3 more and any that Deborah Ball wishes to announce after she hears all the ones I do. Shana Tova to everyone and to thank you to all of the volunteers and everyone and the staff who helped make High Holidays possible. We're still looking for volunteers to help finish building the sukkah. It'd be nice if we had volunteers who weren't just staff members. If you are available, meet us in the Beth Israel Courtyard tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. We are still accepting donations for our food drive until Wednesday, October 12th. And thanks to everyone who've already donated. Please register for Pizza in the Hut this coming Wednesday, October 12th at 6 p.m. right after religious school. Membership forms, Beth Israel Religious School registration forms, and Lev Shalom prayer book dedication forms are available still on our website, and contact the office if you want any assistance with those. Mincha and Mariv for Sukkot starts tomorrow evening. And so Mincha and Mariv will be Zoom only tomorrow, but they're at a special time. They'll be at 6 p.m. So if you join us for evening minyan, remember tomorrow 6 p.m., not 7:30, because it has to be at a specific time because of the holiday. And then Monday and Tuesday, 9:30 a.m. for first and second day Sukkot services. Then Wednesday, the Pizza in the Hut. And then there's a Sukkah hop on Thursday and on Sunday, because as I read, we invite others into our Sukkot and we visit other Sukkot. And so that if you want to participate, join us either Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. or Sunday, 3 to 5 p.m. for a Sukkah hop. It's going to be a fun event. Register in advance for the date of your choice on the website. And a couple of days before the event, we will email you a map of the locations of congregants' sukkahs. And you can visit one of them or all of them, and there will be light snacks and children are welcome. And don't ask me what they're serving because I have no idea. Who has the chocolate? This coming Friday, Ora of Kabbalat Shabbat, Rabbi Ora will lead a Jewish renewal type Friday night service to give some diversity, and that will be both musical and it'll be this coming Friday, October 14th at 6 p.m. In addition, I want to invite Amira, you can tell me if I get them wrong, but tomorrow, first of all, tomorrow, Shamira, just say it yourself.
This month, you have 3 opportunities to do exactly what Rav Nadav was talking about in his Dvar Torah. Tomorrow, we have the Jewish Family Services Walk a Mile in Our Shoes fundraiser for refugees. It's outside, walking a mile at Burns Park, fundraiser for JFS. You can still donate. You can register on site. Registration is 9 a.m. tomorrow. It starts at 10. So yeah, walk around outside and do a social justice thing for refugees. Sunday, October 16th, from 7 to 9 p.m., the Jewish Communal Relations Council, JCRC of Ann Arbor, is hosting an issues forum where we're going to be talking about 3 ballot proposals and the Ann Arbor City Council environmental initiative. And we will have people talking about what does it mean? What are the implications? Not swaying anybody either way, just giving you accurate information. It is being co-sponsored by a number of organizations, including Beth Israel's Green Team and Social Justice Team and League of Women Voters and a bunch of other folks. That's Sunday, October 16th, 7 to 9 at the JCC. And October 30th, we are having Limud, Michigan. We haven't been in person since 2019. Super excited. It will be at Wayne State. It's most of the day from like 11 till 4 or 5. Limud, Michigan is amazing. Every hour, there are 8 to 10 sessions on pretty much everything you can imagine. And we have a bunch of Ann Arbor presenters this year, Rabbi Daberson, Jeff Bernstein, Richard Primus, Yael Keller, I forget who else. And it's absolutely the most energizing Torah Lishma, just learning for its own sake, really spiritually fulfilling experience. Cannot recommend it enough. And registration for Limud is also open. So look at limudmichigan.org. Thanks.
Was that not perfect for the 3 things? The redemption, social justice announcement, then she made the environmentalism, climate action, which is nature. And I'll be at that forum representing Judaism. And I guess, no. And then the third one was Limud. which is revelation, it's Torah study. So it's the three things that connect us. And if we just do them all and mix them together and go in circles, we'll find ourselves in a better place. Check all your boxes. So for Adon Olam, we're inviting up teenagers, are we? Will the teenagers please join me on the bima? And I want to thank you again for being here. So Adon Olam can be found on page 211, and we will support you in whatever tune comes out.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam, Asher Let's finish strong, guys. A little more. Even more. Shabbat Shalom and an early Chag Sameach. Guys, thanks so much. See you again.
Shabbat Shalom all.
Shabbat Shalom.
Take care. See you in the circus.
Exactly right. I just you know what? It's also
you say no? Like that's it is, but I'm getting there. I mean, I'm not saying I'm still planning. I'm planning a conference that starts Sunday, but it's fine. Like, it's totally fine. I'm only presenting at it a week from Sunday. It's totally actually. I haven't made my presentation, but it's fine. It is good. I don't know. I always say that too. Like, yeah, do it. It's fine. This is fine. Yeah, and then the editor's like, stop saying that. You don't mean it. Right? It's not mine. No, it's too much. It is. Like, yeah, but I also like, I can't. What else am I gonna do? You know, I could be like, oh, it's too much, but that's a downer. Right? I know. And it just makes me feel bad. Right? And I'm trying to do that on things that are not associated with my work, right? So my work's relationships to this. And I'm like, I mean, okay, yes, I'll do this extra fundraiser. Yes, of course I don't need to do this. Yes, of course I don't give you an extra story. This is 65.